Alright, let's pop into it here. Don't know how many people I'll get, but this is the mod I have been working on. Figured I'd throw a couple hours on stream here because I wanted to. So here we're starting off. You see everybody starts with a ring now. Some weapon infusions have been randomized. You can see the Sellsword Twin Blades. I think that's a fire infusion maybe. And then some characters have special effects. So let's pop into it. Let's be the deprived, because why not? And let's choose ourselves the life ring and get into it. So not entirely sure how many people will stop on by here today, but if you do, thank you so much. This is kind of an impromptu stream, but I am not really doing much else today, so I figured it's published day. Let's go ahead and stream a little bit of the mod that I made. And hopefully everything goes well. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Got a basic club. Ooh, and it applies the Flynn's Ring effect. And then our crystal plank shield is just frost resistance, which isn't really too good, but it's better than nothing. And then let's see what our loincloth does. Poison resistance, again, pretty worthless. Just making sure all my effects work. Alright. So I've done a couple of playthroughs of this. It has been pretty fun so far. Ooh, and we get a deep crescent axe right off the bat. That's pretty good. Can we use that? We cannot. It's a decent effect, though. Nice HP increase. And needs some more dex and strength, of course, to wield it. Yeah, this kind of builds off the same thing that I was doing for the Dark Souls 1, where a lot of weapons now require like an additional point of whatever stats they require in base game, depending on the rarity type. So I think a crescent axe usually requires like, oh, I don't know, 16 strength and 14 dex, but maybe it's 15 and 13, but because it's uncommon, which is the third highest rarity tier, it requires 2 more points. So it's not a bad one to pick up this early. Just trying to see if we get anything nice from any of these hollows here. Or undead clerics, whatever they're called. I don't know exactly what they're called. Don't really feel like fighting the ravenous crystal lizard right now. So we will avoid doing that. Starting class effects, which I didn't really go into because I kind of like to keep those, maybe not secret, but every class now starts with an effect. Let's see if I can proc the deprived here. Let's take a little bit of damage. So his effect is basically a secondary red tearstone ring effect. So I'll take this off. Maybe take like 1 or 2 more hits maybe. Okay, there we go. And you see that now we're doing 106 damage. But even though I don't have the red tearstone ring on, it still is applying because that is the class effect. So if we throw that on, we get an even bigger boost. So let's see, 163 and 155. So a nice AR boost here for the deprived. I think it fits well and in character with the deprived himself. I figured giving him that would make the most sense. There's a couple other effects that I thought about doing, but I felt that one was going to be the most fun. You can really stack up a bunch of really ridiculous damage upgrades if you get a couple of RTSR effects in your journey. Very uncommon curse bite ring, which... Oh, I got to fix that description, but the effect works. It just looks like the description says bleed resistance. That's alright. It's not like anybody's ever going to wear the curse bite ring anyway, right? Okay, let's get these fire bombs here. Oh, and we get a refined flamberge. Nice. Uncommon as well. Probably requires a good amount of dex if I had to guess, right? Yeah, 17 dex. It's got the Pontiff's left eye or right eye, whichever one that is. It's a decent effect. It's also a quality weapon, so if we want to use that, we are going to have to pump dex pretty good. Oh. Not my best showing there, huh? Alright. One thing I don't like about the Deprived is you cannot parry with his shield, but we'll deal with that. So yeah, let's get our fire bombs on. Let's get our war cry. And let's take down the first boss of the game here. Should be doing a good amount of damage, if I had to guess. Yeah, 39 is not great. Actually, I wonder if... Yeah, we're still in like a medium roll here. We can equip this in our offhand. We can get our bonus from repeating attacks here. There you go. Only about three more damage per hit, but that's not terrible. Get some fire bombs in there. Only 39 damage. Again, not very good. Ooh, we can get a stagger on him. That was a nice, good fight. Nice, good fight. Coiled sword and some good souls. So I've done a couple of runs here in this mod, and I've done a sorcery build, which turned into a miracle build, and I have done a like a strike weapon build, like a big hammer build. With the early game stuff, I mean, obviously it's all going to be dependent on what we get, but at least at the very early portion of this, it looks like we might be doing a quality type of build. But of course, you know, that's going to be something that we're going to have to determine as we go on. You know, an extra or less nice effect there. 10% reduction on our skills. Not the most helpful, but it's not terrible. Be more helpful, you know, in like Elden Ring context, where you're definitely going to be relying on your weapon skills quite a bit more than you do in Dark Souls 3. And speaking of Elden Ring, that is definitely on my list of things to do here. I did Dark Souls 1, of course, and now Dark Souls 3 is out. I'm sure I will have some balance changes here in the next couple weeks as I've finalize it, even though it's out and about now. But after that, it's going to be Elden Ring time, I think. Of course, the inspiration for this mod came from the Elden Ring one of the same kind of idea. But I don't think that mod maker has done any work on his or hers for quite some time, which is kind of what inspired me to do these at the outset. And, you know, if they don't come back and start reworking on their mod, I think that is something that I want to do. Let's start pumping decks here. We can wield one of these uncommon weapons that we got here early on. Let's also see what the handmaid has. I'm gonna dagger. It's 10% souls. It's okay. Luck by 2. A nice 1 HP per second. Having MP restoration is really good. Pyros, miracles. Let's buy the dagger. It's not terrible. Although I guess I'm going to get the covetous serpent ring. The covetous silver serpent ring. It's basic or common. I can't remember what rarity tier I put this one at. But knowing that the tree skip is a perfectly valid thing and something that pretty much everybody does, I decided that it made a lot of sense to make that the lowest tier rarity. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm usually better at this tree skip, but I guess not now. Come on. There we go. go. Could go back and take down the crystal lizard. Hopefully I fixed that. When I was playing this for the video release thing that I made earlier, I had all of these crystal lizards just dropping the roster of knights because I put the wrong ID in there, which is kind of funny. But hopefully I fixed this where he gives me a nice soul. And indeed he does. Be a pretty nice boon for us early game. That should allow us to get a couple more points in dex if I had to guess. Could also try taking down the sword master. Nice plunging attack there. And red tearstone ring range, but I'm not very confident in fighting this guy. Okay, we get some good damage in and then back off. Just parried me like that. Can you parry a jump attack? I don't know if you can. Go. Come on, Swordmaster. Go. Keep him in the R1 chain. There we go, there we go. Nice little boost for us as well. The Uji Katana, and it's sharp. Then we get some other armor as well. What does this do? Bleed resistance? It's okay. And Faith by 3, not bad, not bad. I thought there was an item up there. Hello, Cuddle Queen. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. So it's kind of an impromptu stream, but I'm not really doing much else for the rest of the day, so I figured because I released the mod here, just put up a video, I figured I'd, you know, showcase it a little bit. Am I winning? Well, I almost died to the Swordmaster. I was able to clutch it out in the end. But, winning at life, I suppose. Having a good time. Having a good time. Glad I was able to get this mod out. It's been something I've been working on for quite a while. I won't die here. No, okay. Let's go pop our souls over into this person here. Ooh, nice 8,000. He is tough. You know, I had it where I had all of the NPC characters that are based on like the character model. So the Swordmaster, let's see, 18. Let's put the rest in the strength. Like the Swordmaster, Half-Light, like this guy here. I think it's Creighton, maybe. I had it where all those NPC type enemies were using the modified equipment as well, but it kept breaking on me, so I decided that I'm just going to give them their regular equipment. They're still fairly tough, and based on the level scaling that I have kind of redone, I think they're still tough enough. The Half-Light one, yeah, right. The Half-Light fight was kind of difficult, although the Wilhelm, is that his name? Yeah, the Painted World NPC, Wilhelm, I accidentally made it so that he couldn't use the Onyx Blade, so when I did my fight with him in the run that I used for some of the video footage in my release video, he was unable to do his weapon art, so he just stood there for like 5 minutes just trying to cast that fire effect onto his weapon over and over and over again. It was pretty good. Alright, so what do we want to use here? Kind of want to use the Flamberge. And then we can also probably put this in our offhand to get a nice 6% increase to our attack. If that makes sense, but yes. I'm cheating, yeah, right. You know, I wanted to have it where it was working, but I've tried it a couple different times, and it was just really giving me fits. I don't know if I have to change something or something here, something there. I really can't pinpoint why it wasn't working. But given the fact that there aren't too many key NPC fights in this game, I don't think it's a huge deal. I will tell you though, the demons in the Ring City DLC, holy cow, those were incredibly tough in my playthrough. I didn't die too much. I died to a couple of bosses here and there, but the demons, I think I died to like 10 times. Yeah. It's certainly the fight that I find the most difficult in Dark Souls 3, the Demon Prince. But I don't know, there was just something about them when I was fighting them last night, and then again this morning was when I actually finished my run. I was having a bear of time. So the params for 1.14 no sleep. Is that the Elden Ring one? I haven't started looking at that one yet. I am excited to start working on that. Probably won't be for maybe a few weeks, if I had to guess. Although I said that last time when I started working on the Dark Souls 3 version, and then I basically started this right after the Dark Souls 1 version that I put out. But I have to do some IRL stuff this month that probably won't allow me to get to it as quickly. Ooh, nice 193 damage. That, and I have to finish up my run for the backlogs video at some point. Which, that's next on my chopping block list. I really am addicted to modding now. Ooh, look at that. We get Pontiff's Right Eye. Is that the... It is the... Okay, it looks like we are going to be going on a successive attack type build. We've got the Flambears that gives us that effect. 3, 7, and 12%. And then Pontiff's Right Eye, 5, 9, and 14%. I know the Flambears is not the quickest attacking weapon in the game. So if we can find a nice weapon that has really good attack speed. Okay, I guess I'm going to die here. If we can find a weapon that has pretty high attack speed, like, I don't know, say the Twin Blades or something like that. Maybe a really strong dagger or curved sword of some variety. That could be what we're going to do. But yes, I have absolutely gotten caught on the mod making bug. Which is fun. It's never something that I have really explored before in my life. Until about a couple months ago, when I started making the Dark Souls 1 VOD of Diablo style loot. There we go, we get our first Covenant item there, the Wolf's Blood Swordgrass. Should also check out the shield I got. Nice backstab, 323 damage, not bad. What is this weapon skill? Oh, it's stance. Figured as much, but... Get some very uncommon helmet, which is nice. We need a helmet. Good faith. Up, and another RTSR effect type thing. Lothric Knight Long Spear. That's uncommon. You got like 7 different things that increase our faith, which is kind of nutty. Honestly, we're not going to be attacking too much. Oh wait, I was thinking this one was the successive attack, but we should probably throw this one on, increasing our slash attack, because I'm pretty sure the Flambears does slash. Yes, it does. We've gotten a lot of good items here early for our build. Already dealing out 222 damage to hollow enemies here in the high wall. Wow, that almost one-shot me. There we go. Did I fix this drop? Okay, I did. Those guys last time, they were giving me the Titanite shards as they do in the normal game, but they are not doing so any longer. One thing that you might notice as well is that all of my armor, I know the Master Set and Loincloth don't offer too much, but basic level armor and stuff like that, they offer basically, I don't want to say zero, but very, very minimal protection. I think the very uncommon tier armor is more or less equal to base game armor. It's either very uncommon or rare. I don't remember exactly which one it was. But higher tier armor offers a ton of protection. It's about 10% better or worse, depending on which way you're going on the rarity tree. So again, I think very uncommon is roughly equal to base game armor, and then the rare would be 10% better in terms of absorptions, and then so on and so forth. I think it is a flat plus 10% maybe. I can't remember exactly how I did it, but it's like a flat percentage based on the baseline weapon, if that makes sense. So I think a rare, if it was like 80% absorption, the rarity tiers would be plus 8 or minus 8% every single time you go up or down. And of course things are multiplicative, so it's not like you're going to be taking no damage at stages in the game, but man, I hate these hollow guys. They're so tough. I do like the running R2 of the great swords though. You do that left spin move. Oh, it's great. I think it's my favorite running attack in the game. Just covers a wide sweeping area. Fire spotted whip and a deep Rurashi. Lloyd's sword ring, that's not bad. Might be something we want to throw on. Fire Lothric Greatsword, that's a very, so I wonder if that's very uncommon. It is. And we get fire and lightning damage out of that. How about that? Can I wield that? That's the question. I think that's a quality type weapon too, isn't it? Yes, 20 dex, so we need 3 more levels of dex, and we're going to have a pretty good early game weapon. Although again, the flamberge is pretty good. Even if it is only uncommon, it's still got the dual scaling because it's refined. The only thing I kind of dislike about this type of mod is that I tend to get a lot of items. You can already see here I've gotten quite a bit, but I had tried making the drop rates lower and it just wasn't feeling as good, so it is kind of... Inventory management is probably the worst thing about this mod, but it's not too bad really. I wonder if I could make a script or something like that, an event where you sell all of your items. So you just put like all your items in the storage box, and then whatever ones you don't want you keep in your inventory, and just do a mass sell or something like that. That would be nice if I could do that. But I might be a little bit beyond my capabilities. No, don't die here. Do you have an ember I can pop if I need to? Oh, hey, look at this. We got our first copy of a set bonus item here. So, actually, we got the Winged Knight gauntlets. I didn't realize that either. But you can see here, I got the Black Knight set and the Winged Knight set. These both offer a set bonus. So, the Black Knight gauntlets, if you wear 3 or more of them, you get increased fire absorption. And for the Winged Knight gauntlets, if you wear 3 or more of them, you get basically physical miracles. So, Wrath of the Gods, Way of Light Corona, I think Emit Force, and Divine Pillars of Light. I think those are the 4. I get a 50% bonus power, so it's not damage. So if you know any of the math behind the game, the attack power is increased as opposed to the damage. So they are... if you can get your Winged Knight set and do a miracle build, you know, you rush down the Profane Capital really early in your run, get Wrath of the Gods, and you are golden. Sharp Battle Axe. I've also found some very, very funny different combinations of armor. I tend to match armor sets. I think most people do in Dark Souls 3. I don't know if that's everybody, but you start matching armor sets or mismatching armor sets because the bonuses are really, really good as opposed to wearing all 4 sets of the same armor. PvP I know is a little bit different. You definitely like min-max for poise and absorptions and stuff like that. Let's get our bonfire. And I think it was 2 more points of dex. And let's see, 28 divided by 1.5. Oh, off the top of my head, that I think it's 21. I can pull up my phone here. No, 18.667. So I need 19 strength to use that with two-handing. So I need 2 more points of dex and 2 more points of strength. I think I am probably just shy. Yeah. You know, I haven't really looked into the poise mechanic, but as I understand it, the poise mechanic is mostly like a multiplier to your hyper armor, or like hyper armor and poise get multiplied in some fashion or other. We don't need that. Let's see, can I sell any of my... I don't think I'm going to use this battle axe here. Probably not going to use this whip. Probably not going to use this. That's all I want to sell. It will not be, no. But yeah, anyways, poise, I think it's more like a multiplier for hyper armor stuff. So like a heavy weapon, if you swing it. Yeah, I do need more points in strength, that's fine. You get a certain amount of poise times, or hyper armor times your poise stat. So you can trade off with some enemy attacks or player attacks in the middle of your swings. But I don't think there's a mechanic where you can just kind of stand and tank attacks from different enemies like you could in Dark Souls 1. I did equip all 4 pieces of armor of the Havel set after I added the set bonus, because that is one of the armor sets that has a set bonus. It gives you an additional 50% of the what the game calls like wolf poise or bonus poise. And my poise was up around 80 points, I think, but I was still getting staggered by like regular attacks and whatnot. Yeah, I think there might be some stuff where you can tank through attacks, like maybe some light attacks perhaps. I don't know too much about it, though, to be quite honest with you, outside of the mechanics and how it interacts with hyper armor. Holy cow, that was loud. The weird thing is, too, like I'm wearing this, so you can see my poise is 3, and then I say this increases poise by 4%, but you can see it doesn't actually go up to 7, so it's like extra poise on top of your armor poise. So it's kind of a weird mechanic. Set bonuses in the real game aren't a thing, but I was able to implement those in here, into this game. I mean, there are some... I don't think there's really anything like that in Dark Souls 3. There's weapons, or not weapons, sorry, armor pieces that have different effects, like the Dusk Crown, whatever that piece is called. Gives you more magic damage. There's a couple other ones like that, like the Blindfold Mask, or is it Dark Souls, the DLC mask in the Ring City, which increases your dark damage as well. So there's stuff like that, but there's nothing like a set bonus in the actual vanilla game. Elden Ring kind of has it, but it's more so like the God... what are they called? It's been so long since I played Elden Ring. The God skins, they have not set bonuses, but all of their equipment pieces do apply the same effect. So like they increase God skin incantations by like 2% each. So that's kind of the closest thing they have to it, but nothing like that in vanilla. When I do Elden Ring in the same fashion, I am going to add some set bonuses as well, probably more than I have in this game. I think I have 8 or 9 in this mod. I couldn't think of anything like flavor text wise that really worked with some of the armor sets. But I may go through and add a few more here and there when I update this mod every now and then, like bug fixes and whatnot. I may also add some additional set bonuses. Yeah, definitely going to add quite a bit more in Elden Ring, I think. And it's going to work slightly differently, is my guess, what I'm anticipating. Hey, we got a Sunlight Medal. I was actually able to make it to level 2 in one of my covenants, and my playthrough for the video here this morning that I released. But never +3. Alright, let's see, this Lothric Knight here always gives me trouble. Spear guy with the great shield. That shield bash move is really annoying. And that. There we go. Let's see, is there an enemy back here? I can't remember. Excuse me. All right. Let's see. I think the broadsword is right there, maybe. They do in vanilla. Regular weapons only go to +10. And special weapons only +5. In this mod, weapon upgrades aren't a thing. But if you're playing vanilla, yeah, it's only to +10. Let's go get the Astor straight sword, I suppose. You can get some early chunks in a couple of places, but they're kind of tough to get. You can get large shards fairly early into the game, but if you haven't finished vanilla, if you haven't finished vanilla, the best place, I'm trying to think of where the best place is to go. Oh, come on, why didn't it blow up? Yeah, you should definitely have a +3 weapon by like the Abyss Watchers. Okay, I guess I'm gonna die there. And then once you get to like Pontiff, you'll probably have the ability to go to a +6, +7, +8 pretty easily, and then so on and so forth. I think I have enough stuff to go back and level up one more time. And, interestingly enough, so it's excuse me. It still kind of follows the same general formula from what I found. So a regular weapon, yeah, obviously I don't have any regular weapons to show off, but if a regular weapon started at, say, 200 damage, I did, every upgrade would give you +20 regular damage. So it basically increases your base damage by 10%, and then for like special weapons, it would increase your damage by 5% or 20% rather. So like they both kind of upgrade in the same fashion, more or less. And then Elden Ring kind of keeps the same thing. So of course you go up to +25. Every level is +10% damage, more or less. And for special weapons, because they only go up to a +10, it's every weapon upgrade gives you like +25% damage. So they kind of keep pace, but of course somber stones are usually a little bit easier to find. But yeah, it's kind of the same way, Again, a +10 weapon here, it's +10% damage per level. They kept the same thing in Elden Ring, but weapons just got a whole lot stronger. Go. Yeah, I thought I was out of the range of that firebomb explosion, but I guess not. I'm trying to think if I've ever used this greatsword or not. Which one is this? Lothric greatsword? Okay, yeah. This one's good. I like the Cathedral Knight one a little bit more. The Ultra. Let's get that. I mean, this one has a poke as well, but the Ultra Greatsword, the Cathedral Knight Ultra Greatsword, that one is definitely my favorite weapon in this game. We can go ahead and throw that on. We're doing fire damage, so that should be a nice help. I don't know why I left that guy alive. I hate fighting these guys. It's good damage, though. Excuse me, man. I haven't talked this much in a while. So, I actually have 10 rarities in this one. So it goes basic, common, uncommon, very uncommon, rare, very rare, ultra rare, legendary, mythical, and godlike. So there were 7 rarities in the Dark Souls 1 version of this mod, and now there are 10 rarities in this version. This also allowed me to balance the drops a little bit better, whereas in the Dark Souls 1 version, you could get a godlike in the first area. That's not a thing anymore. To kind of help balance it out a little bit more, you have to get to late game areas in order to have access to godlike equipment. Kind of the general idea. Ooh, I got a Dragon Slayer spear. It's only basic, but you see basic weapons are pretty bad. Very uncommon is all right. Excuse me. But I think it fits a little bit better, and again, yeah, it made it possible to kind of balance the drop rates a little bit more, because I could. Oh, look at that! We get a very rare. This is Fire Witch armor, very rare. That is incredible drop right there. Look at all of that absorption. We can't quite wear everything. Though honestly, with the amount of absorption that we're going to get here, 20% in the early game is pretty strong. I think I might just wear it. Yeah, the the problem I found with adding those additional rarity tiers is I could not find a good extra couple of names, so I just had to stick with like very uncommon and stuff like that. I agree, it sounds a little bit weird, but I was trying to think of something like flavor-wise that made sense in the context of the Dark Souls universe, but I really couldn't. So I just went with those. Stat requirements are a thing, but for armor, armor doesn't have any stat requirements, and I don't have the extra weight as well as part of the armor sets. Didn't seem to be the best or most popular thing, so I removed that. Plus, given the fact that, oh, you got me, son of a gun. Plus, given that higher tier armor isn't quite as strong as it was in Dark Souls 1. Yes. So no, that is a thing. That is a thing. Yeah, sorry. I don't. So there's no changes to armor, but yes, weapons they do have the increased requirements. So I don't remember what a Lothric Greatsword usually requires. I think very uncommon is the 4th highest tier. So I think if you were to look it up on a wiki, I think it's 24 and 16 strength index. So yes. Weapons do have +1 to their stat requirement based on their rarity tier. I don't have anything that increases equip load. I do not believe that I do. No, we do not. So, and I will say, based on my experience playing through the mod, yeah, I did remove the weight requirement. Yep. I was watching Solar Pilots play through it on her channel, and it just seemed to be the case where it was, really got to pump up endurance to high levels, and I didn't really feel like it fit the kind of idea of the mod, so I just took that away. But if you want to wear good armor, you still got to upgrade your equip load pretty good in this mod, especially because it's separated from the stat that levels up stamina. So But I haven't really found that meeting requirements is too difficult. I've respec'd a couple times in my runs, but nothing too crazy. I do like this weapon, though. It is a good weapon indeed. Go. Black iron, great shield. I'm trying to remember if I changed shields or if they keep their guard negation. I think I increased the guard negation. That sounds like something I did. Let's go level up, see if we can get to medium load with our setup. Can offload some stuff. Yeah, welcome in, Darty Films. Yeah, it's I've had some. So I've played through it twice already, and I have enjoyed myself quite a bit both times. So I figured I would showcase it a little bit. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to play through here today. Yeah, let's keep that. But figured I would play it for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like having them tied together. It's tough to say exactly what's the better system. I don't know. Obviously, they went back to that in Elden Ring, so maybe they thought that having it separated was kind of awkward. I don't think that's going to give us 2 medium load, but no. What are we at here? 76%. What are you doing? Don't need that. If I take this off, okay, that's medium load. I think that might be something we do. Yeah, that's good. You know, Dark Souls 3 is 100% my favorite out of the Souls trilogy. And I think it's probably my favorite FromSoft game. I like Elden Ring a lot. I mean, I like all the games in the series quite a bit. I don't know. There's something about Dark Souls 3 that I really, really enjoy. And I think it's my favorite game. And the Dark Souls 1 version and the Dark Souls 3, like this mod here was kind of the reason I got into the modding side of things anyhow. Okay, I talked about this in the Dark Souls 1 video and maybe on a stream or two, but I wanted to play the Elden Ring version of this mod, and it hadn't been updated for a while and was incompatible with the DLC. So I was like, well, this would be really fun to play in Dark Souls 3. I don't know if anybody's going to make it, so why don't I make it? Ooh, look at that, 635 damage. And yeah, if you want to get into mod making, the server on Discord is a great resource. I've learned quite a bit in my short time doing this stuff, and it has been a good time. And I'm excited that I was able to put this out. Oh, we got a Bellowing Dragon Crest ring. What is that? Very uncommon, 18%. That's not too bad. And I'm excited to do this in Elden Ring because there are quite a bit more effects that I can pull from. Obviously, DS1 had a number of effects. This version, the Dark Souls 3 version, I can't remember exactly how many effects I made. I think it's like 50-ish or so effects that are available per weapon and armor piece. There are a couple of effects that are only available to armor and a couple of effects that are only available to weapons. And weapons now also are guaranteed to do some type of like damaging or like quality of life type improvement. So weapons, except for maybe a couple, maybe the it's the Sif's or Artorias' shield. I can't remember what it's called in this game. The Wolf's Knight Great Shield, I think it's called. That'll like increase your status resistance because that's like the base game effect. But pretty much every weapon now is guaranteed to provide you with some offensive benefit to stay paced with the game. Yeah, very uncommon. I mean, if you got a better name for it, I struggled for a long time figuring out a name with what I could do. You know, because uncommon, rare, stuff like that, it obviously makes sense. I mean, even legendary and mythical, I'm not a huge fan of, but I couldn't think of a great way to do that outside of those. So, if I can think of some better ones, I might change some of the nomenclature in the Elden Ring mod. But we'll see. I was trying to figure out, you know, does it get the point across? And I think it kind of does. You know, does it make sense? It's maybe a little bit of a weird statement to make, like if you're speaking, but I think it's fine. Did I pick up the gold pine resin? I did. Be a nice boon for us against Vort here. Alright. Let's take him down. Ooh, look at that charged heavy. Oh yeah, we got the counter damage there, I think. 3 charged heavies and Vort is down. Holy cow. Fortunately, we didn't get to hear the awesome Phase 2 music. Man, that is it's a heck of a weapon here early, isn't it? No, I am not going to fight Dancer early, though. I'll tell you that right now. No, I don't think so. Demon Souls, I think I could do this in Demon Souls, too. It would be for PS3, obviously. Not PS3, the RPCS3, or whatever the emulator is called. If I were to do that in Demon Souls, but I don't even know if I would do that many rarities in Demon Souls because the kind of areas are quite a bit shorter than a game like even Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3. So Elden Ring is the one I'm looking forward to tackling, even though I know it's going to take quite a while. This one took me like a month to make. Elden Ring is probably going to take me a couple of months, if I had to guess. Bonfire lit. It's a heck of a fight, though. Oh, come on, to what? You don't want me to put in 25? You want me to put 25 rarities in into Demon Souls? Oh, I think I could make this in Demon Souls fairly easily, and I might do that at some point. I have access to all the files. I just think Elden Ring is probably what I want to do next. I enjoy Demon Souls quite a bit as well. The atmosphere of the game is really nice and everything. It's a great time. I think it's honestly my answer might change depending on the day that you catch me, but I think Demon Souls might be my favorite to replay just casually. Wow, we did an ultra rare talisman this early. Some more vertebrae shackles. Nice. Yeah. See here, this is kind of the only issue here is that you tend to get a lot of equipment, but it is what it is. Wow, that gives us 28% more FP. Suppose we'll have to find if we can get some good faith. Look, I am not good at fighting Dancer at all. I can give it a shot. I can try once. but I don't know. I've tried fighting her at low levels and stuff like that before. I'm not very good at it, to be quite honest with you. Do I have enough to level up? Probably do, right? Pop a couple of these bad boys. The Diablo mod god, I suppose. I give credit to, I don't know who the first person, I don't know who the person was.
Then shall we begin, bearer?
I'm sure the person who did this initially, I can't remember their name, but they were who inspired me to do this. So a lot of credit to them, of course, and then, you know. Hello, Daniel. Is the loot different? So it isn't technically. It's all the same loot tables, if you will. I never actually played the Elden Ring one, so I don't exactly know how it was handled there. But the way it works here is, so every enemy has 5 possible drops. They technically have 6 possible drops. So the 6th drop is Covenant items, and you can see here I've already gotten a couple of Covenant items. But each enemy has 2 groups of weapons that they can drop, and 2 groups of armor that they can drop, and then 1 group of rings that they can drop. And then each enemy can drop up to 7 different rarities, I think. 6 or 7. So the same enemy can drop up to like 12 different weapons, up to 12 different armor pieces, and up to 6 different rings. And then as you get further into the game, the lowest tier rarity that you can get are a little bit higher, and the highest tier rarity that you can get is higher as well. So one enemy, you know, if you were to find a godlike piece of equipment from one enemy, if you got that same roll, it would be the same type of godlike equipment, if that makes sense. But all the item lotteries, that's what they're called in game, are randomized, and there's about 300 of them. So if you play the same seed twice, you shouldn't see too much similarities between runs. But, you know, technically speaking, all of the loot is the same throughout the runs. It's easy enough. I could always just throw in some different seeds for item lotteries or drop tables that would switch it up from playthrough to playthrough. I've never played Diablo at all, so I have no idea actually how this relates to the base game, like Diablo loot system. All right, we're gonna try early dance here because you requested it. 205 damage, not terrible. And we died right away. I can give it a couple of shots here. We're basically going to be dying in one hit, it seems like. Holy cow, I'm also dropping a ton of frames. I have no idea why it's the case. Hopefully it doesn't look too choppy right now. Let's see. Go try this one more time. I don't know if I'll actually play much more beyond this. I just wanted to do a quick showcase of the early game. It's kind of an add-on to the video I put out here this morning, so people can get